Hi, welcome. I'm Charlene Sanker, European Business Development Manager, NoKey Smart Entry Systems. Welcome to episode 5 of Unlocking Self-Storage, where we unlock key insights and trends of the sector. And today we'll be discussing how automation software is changing the self-storage industry. I'd like to introduce my guest, Mr. Martin Wild, co-founder and managing director of Kinnovis. Martin, welcome.
Thank you, Charlene. Thank you for having me.
How did you get into the sector?
So I started in the self-storage industry almost 7 years ago. I started as a project manager building the first facility of our self-storage brand storeroom in Vienna. So we've got 4 locations since this week, 4 locations.
Nice.
That are operational for 6 years now. So 7 years ago, I started as a project manager to really collect information on the access control, software, everything that's related to this one facility that we built. And that was a really good starting point, I think, because I really had to dig into the industry very deeply to understand it and to learn about it. And yeah, that's where I come from.
I mean, 7 years has been quite the journey. But tell me, Martin, when we talk about Kinnovis to our viewers, what is Kinnovis? Where has the product come from and how has it evolved, looking from the past to the present and to the future?
So why does Kinnovis exist is actually a very simple reason, because we didn't find back then any software that would really fit our needs. So 6 years ago, when we launched our first facility, we launched with a self-made product. Mm-hmm. So we got into developing our own software already 7 years ago. And then over time, we grew and grew our software product. And over time, there were more and more other operators across Europe asking whether they could use our software as well for their own use. So we realized there is a market for this. At the same time, we realized how expensive it is to build software. And eventually we ended up with hundreds of thousands of euros spent into this one software just for our use, and it did not pay off. So we would need, 50 facilities to make it work. And even then, the software is not good enough. So we decided to found our own software company. We threw our old software to the bin. We built our own team. And at that point, we already knew what's needed on the market, what a good software really means. And we started to develop our own software platform. And since then, we've grown our customer base to more than 100 customers across Europe. And it's going really well now. Basically, describe Kinnovis in a nutshell. We are the all-in-one software solution for online bookings, managing the facility on one platform, really having all the information at a glance. We have a very strong focus on data, reporting, etc., to really make the operator understand where the business is going, where there is potential for improvement. We basically digitize the complete customer journey from online booking until the move out, and including all the back office activity, and also obviously integrating with access control. That's a big topic as well.
Thanks. They are. I mean, it was great having you on our property management software webinar earlier this month. And in that webinar, we spoke about future-proofing. We spoke about access control. We spoke about automation, AI. Now, I know the hot topic right now, keywords, AI, automation, but how are you and your software moving the needle forward on those hot topics?
That's a very good question, because eventually you really have to find out what are the big topics that really interest the industry, and where do we as a software company want to invest. And we believe that one big part is obviously catering the needs of the modern customer, which includes online bookings, self-service portals where the customer can manage everything by themselves, but also for the operator to make their operations more efficient. And that's one of the most important guidelines for us to decide what we should develop next, improving the operations, making it more efficient. And obviously, there are new technologies coming up. We believe has a big impact is AI. It's still a buzzword. It's still, many people don't know what it is. And it was a lot on the media last year. And now we are slowly understanding what AI actually means and what it can be used for. Mm-hmm. There were many wrong applications over the last 12 months that with startups that really didn't have much success. But I believe that AI can help us a lot improving the customer satisfaction and the customer experience. And that's where we are heading towards now. And we are actually releasing now our first AI-powered feature, which is already being used in the market live, and it's performing really nicely.
Tell me, what is this new feature called, and can we talk about it today?
Yeah, sure. So we call it ChangeGPT. Was not our idea. AI generated the name. And it's a chatbot that's powered by OpenAI. So we are integrating with OpenAI. Eventually, we are providing a chatbot to the end customer, to the operator's customers, to ask any sort of question around, for example, you can ask what are the opening hours of that specific facility, what size do I need, which I want to store a couch, a chair, and so on. It would ask back, okay, how large is the couch roughly? And it would give you an idea of how much space you need. The more specific you go, the more specific size it can give you. And it actually calculates very precisely without the customer having to put too much information in it.
Great. Thank you for that. Just, something that we're mindful of today is security of our online products, of our tech products, and so on and so forth, considering the big Microsoft debacle a few months back. How do you protect your product or infrastructure to these threats?
Yeah. Eventually, no software is immune against attacks, right?
Right.
Therefore, it's super important that the software you're using is in hands of professionals. So our daily job is to keep up to date with the highest security standards. We are hosting everything in the Microsoft Cloud, which comes already with many security layers, which we add our own security layers on top as well. So we've had never any incident, but obviously that's our job to really make sure that something like this we saw does not happen. Obviously it can happen, but it will happen to those that are not well protected.
You've earlier mentioned that your holding company has a self-storage arm to it.
Yeah.
You've got 4 sites. What is the consideration in Austria with automation of those sites?
I think it's not different to the UK, to be honest. When it comes to access control, for example, the requirements from the end user are pretty much the same, I would say. Obviously, from a software perspective, from a PMS perspective, there are differences. For example, how to do how the exports for the bookkeeping system have to look like and so on. But the differences are not major, right? We have customers now in 15 different countries, and we supply the same software in every single country. There are certain specialities here and there, but actually it's something that we can cover within the same product. So, yeah.
Fantastic. And we've integrated NoKey into your product.
Yeah.
Can you help our audience understand how that works from a snapshot point of view and some of the benefits?
Sure. So the integration between NoKey and Kinnovis is already done, as you say. So an operator can basically log into our Kinnovis manager and then connects the NoKey system directly, basically on the fly. It's really not a complex thing. Obviously, we also have project managers, as you do, helping out our clients to set it up. If there are any, if it's getting more complex, then customers sometimes they want to let it be done by us. There are multiple big benefits. One of them is the move-ins. So you can have a move-in at any time of the day, at any day of the week. And the flexibility for the customer, not having to contact the staff of the store to get a key. That's a major thing, I think. I personally, if I book a self-storage, I wouldn't want to be dependent on someone else to get into my storage room. Data again. So NoKey has a great dashboard where you see all kinds of data, and this connected with the PMS also gives a lot of insight for the end user. So you can really draw conclusions on, for example, how often do my clients visit the storage unit, and maybe you want to actually make money with it. So you can actually potentially could create a plan that says if you want to have access overnight, then you have an extra charge. Things like this. So it really has a economical benefit for the operator to use a digital access control.
Does AI have the ability to process customer data and provide insights today?
Yeah.
Or is that part of your development pipeline?
Yeah, very good question. AI is an amazing tool to analyze data. So, but it can only do that if the data structure is clear. So for AI to be effective in that specific field, you really need a clean database. And thus you need a modern software that provides that. So, and then one of our goals is also to, next to ChangeGPT, that's basically done now, right? That goes live. And another next level development will be building a chat bot, not for the end user, but for the operator. Okay. So you can basically go in and say, tell me what's the occupancy rate of my facility. Give me insights on how to improve the occupancy rate. Should I increase my prices? Should I lower my prices? And all this. And that we already tried it in a beta test phase, basically, and that's going to be really exciting. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Absolutely. It sounds absolutely fantastic. Just going back to NoKey and the integration into the PMS providers such as Kinnovis, if a customer falls into bad debt, is the software set up to automatically overlock that unit, or is it something that needs to be engaged manually?
So there are two ways you can do it. Either you set the system in a way that you do it manually. Some operators, they don't want to lock out the staff automatically.
Right.
Or you just say do automatic, and then it would lock it out that way.
Brilliant. And in terms of aligning your product with NoKey, I'm assuming a new customer development, how long does that take to integrate our systems just for a new customer out there?
So to set up the NoKey integration between Kinnovis and NoKey can be done technically in a day.
Okay.
The integration is done. It's just a matter of, is the data already there, right? So you guys provide us with a list of access identifiers for each physical door.
Yeah.
If that's all there and our system is set up as well from the customer side, then it's just a matter of basically typing in that information into our manager, and it's set up so you can actually get it running within one day.
Thank you. Something really important, because you are based in Austria, but you service the globe as such with your product. Where are you from a customer support perspective? Various languages, sort of support hours, and the like. Would you like to share some insight on that?
Sure. So our headquarters is in Austria, but a big part of our team is in the UK. So we've got obviously English support, we've got German support, and we are also launching our new support team in France and Spain. So we've got those two languages, French and Spanish as well. And with that, actually, we have almost all of Europe covered.
Yeah. Sure. Looking at the sector from a NoKey smart entry point of view, we've seen year in and year out sort of double-digit growth on smart entry. Now, what are you seeing from the transition of traditional to smart from a PMS point of view?
Right. So we have customers that are in the business for 10, 15 years already and have started using our software over the last 2-3 years. And they have obviously only non-digital access control, and most of them are looking into or have already built new facilities with digital access. If you ask me the ratio of how many customers have digital and non-digital customers in our business, I would say 50-50.
Wow.
And obviously it's developing more towards digital. That's going to be the future. Yeah.
It's a convenience aspect, right?
Yeah.
Smart entry, seamless access, and the like.
And not only convenience, it's also saving money in the end.
Yes.
Because obviously, depending how large your facility is, the more it can pay off to have it digital, because handing out keys, handing out cards or whatever is just not an option. Obviously, you can also have a PIN code, but then customers have padlocks on the door. How do they get the padlock? Obviously, there are other systems as well. But the most slick version of it is having it digital.
Right. Yeah. Right. Speaking to one of our customers yesterday, it was quite intriguing to hear their customer journey, which was they were moving house, right? And they've had their mover come to the unit and didn't have access, or got to the facility, didn't have access, and all they did was share digital key via the NoKey app to the remover, who then subsequently logged into the app, gained access, dropped off the customer goods, closed the unit, at which point she received a notification and it was done. Boom, bang, boom. So it just goes to show that gone are the days where the customer or the end customer would need to travel to the facility to unlock the unit to allow the remover to go inside. How would Jane improve the customer journey for the operator?
Yeah. For the operator, it is going to take off work from the operator's shoulders. So especially after working hours, Jane's still not gonna go home to sleep and helping out customers overnight, over the weekend as well, obviously. So Jane obviously is not only there for new clients or leads, but also for their existing clients. So as an operator, you will have many customers asking questions during the lifetime of a customer. And those questions can also be handled by JaneGPT.
Martin, can you tell us what the development pipeline looks like for Jane, not only at the initial customer engagement phase, but looking forward once the end customer has moved in and started their self-storage journey?
Right. An existing customer who moved in already can still use Jane for multiple different use cases. For example, when do I have to move out, or what's the move out process? What's the status on my invoices and so on? So all these things Jane can also answer. So Jane would also understand who is an existing customer, not obviously only whether in case they provide also their account information. That's a requirement for sure. And over time, we are improving it by adding more use cases to it and integrations to it mostly. So we will also integrate it with SMS services, with other services around JaneGPT that JaneGPT can talk with, basically to make it more integrated, to have more value eventually for the end customer by having an even better experience, not only with Jane in an isolated way, but integrating it with other systems as well.
Where are you in your smart access journey? And have you considered NoKey?
Yeah. So we are hopefully soon opening the 5th site in St. Pölten. Most of you won't know, but it's close to Vienna. And we are just waiting for the city to approve it. Like everywhere, that's taking longer than it should. But if you check in your system, there should be a quote. So we're gonna do that there. Yeah.
Great, thank you. So I guess planning is not only a problem in the UK; it's something that you faced with in Vienna as well.
Yeah, it seems to be everywhere on the planet.
No, well, it's great to hear that you transitioning to NoKey as part of your smart automation journey. We're going to reach the end of our podcast now, but before I let you go, we have this little magic box, right? And there's a few questions in there that's not necessarily self-storage related.
Okay.
So give it a good swirl and choose something, and let's see what your answer is.
All right.
Okay,
Let's try.
so I'm just gonna get this out here, and there you go. Okay. So do you want to hand that over to me?
Yeah, sorry.
You're going to prepare for your answer now.
Now I know it.
Okay. So the question, which superpower would you rather have? To be able to breathe underwater or to be able to talk with animals?
Animals. I really would like to talk to animals because I would have a word with my dog. There are many things to discuss and I simply didn't get the chance so far. Definitely would choose that.
So I guess we'll call you Martin Doolittle.
You can do that.
But Martin, love what you're doing within the sector, transforming your product with technology. And from a NoKey point of view, we are glad to be integrated into your platform that helps us unlock doors and vice versa. So thank you, and we look forward to growing with you and our other partners. Martin, thank you very much.
Thank you, Shalin.
Take care.
It was a pleasure.
Cheers.
Thank you.